We're still here. So this is the time of year when traditionally in Heartlight we welcome the time of rebirth. I know some of you don't really care for winter very much. I've heard that. I've heard some complaining. Now, of course, those of us who have lived in the North Country, this Maine over here in Massachusetts here, they know from cold. Although this one, she just doesn't like the short days, right? She likes that sunlight. Well, in a few more days, the calendar will add another year. Can you believe 2010's over? Whoa, went like that, didn't it? As we get older, I should tell you, our perception of time changes. Our perception of life changes, which is also a good thing, by the way. But as we get older, time does seem to move a lot faster, doesn't it? Suddenly, you remember when we were young and we wanted summer to come? Yeah. And summer, of course, went a little too fast. But the days were endless. You know, from sun up to sundown was just an endless stretch of time. And now they go by in a blink. But we are also growing in our perceptions of life. Because if we did not grow, if we did not change, then why would we be here? We would risk wasting an awful lot of time marching in place. And that is not a good thing. Without the spirit of willingness to become more, to know more, to see more, to be reminded there is beauty and fulfillment in learning, in becoming more perfectly who we truly are, without that process, why would we be here? And you're all on that path. So as you know, we just had the winter solstice. And the days now, by the way, for those of you who want them to, are getting longer already. Already. A few more minutes each day. And it is part of this elegant and perfect cycle of nature, isn't it? It's just really, do you think there's a plan? Do you think there's a methodology in all this? You know, winter, spring, summer, fall, seeds in the ground, things grow. I think so. I don't think it's an accident. Life, of course, is about transitions. It's about birth, it's about death, it's about rebirth. And our calendar is very arbitrary, as you know. We really make it up as we go, don't we? And the calendar that we have is really, man's construct. And our whole idea of time, of linear time, is a human need. Well, we have to know we made progress, right? We have to say, have we made progress since yesterday? And if we don't have a yesterday, then we're a little baffled as to how we could go about that. But on the other hand, the fact that time keeps moving a little faster, doesn't it make you see the moments as more precious? Don't you see every moment as a little more important? It's so much easier to waste time when you're young, isn't it? Yeah, heck, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do the Scarlett O'Hara thing. Tomorrow is another day, right? But now we're seeing that every moment is precious. This time for all of the ancient peoples in this cycle of renewal was extremely important. It was a renewal of hope. It was a time they began to anticipate the softening of the ground, to plant the seeds. And even if those seeds, in our case, well, some of you are planting seeds, I'm sure, in real life, but we're going to do symbolic seeds here. The world over, human beings, except those places, of course, where the seasons are reversed, but the world over, human beings are turning their attention to what can be, to possibilities, to the infinite possibilities. No matter what has gone before, the perennial good news, and notice my use of the word perennial, those are flowers that come back, right? Thank you. Just checking. I get those annual perennial things confused all the time. Perennial good news that greets us each and every day is that we can create every day anew. It does not have to be the same, and we certainly do not have to experience it in the same way. The truth for us is that not one single challenging circumstance, not one disconcerting event, not one seeming failure or disappointment, but that we have judged it to be a disappointment or a failure, can dictate the events of today or tomorrow unless we choose to let them. Do you agree? It is entirely up to you. Baggage, I've talked to you about that baggage, is only baggage if you're willing to keep on carrying it everywhere you go. And if you haven't noticed, if you're still carrying some, it gets mighty heavy. As a matter of fact, some experts say by the time we're adults, especially around 40, we are carrying a steamer trunk on our backs. And we are doomed to get more luggage unless we're willing to put it down. What's packed in your baggage? What's packed in there? Grudges, resentments, disappointments, not so fond memories of things that have happened in your life, old wounds, judgments, Those incredibly unshakable opinions that the times you were sure you were right. How about dogmatic thinking? Is that in your baggage? How much are you willing to shed? Entirely up to you. That's the lovely thing about this path. No one can tell you how to do it, when to do it. Up to you. If you say, this luggage is getting heavy, you can put it down. But I'll tell you what happens when you put it down. You make room. You make room in your life and in your mind and in your heart for the new. The always amazing, potentially extraordinary new. And since we're conscious beings here at Heartlight, we welcome change, right? Yeah. Okay, can we just get a trifle more enthusiastic about that? We welcome change, don't we? Yes. Thank you. Is it better if I call it transformation? Would that work better for you? Would that sound more spiritual? Okay. Wow. I know. It's like I need one of those little whips. This is why we choose to be open at the top. This is why we savor each now moment, and I know that you do. And we have utter faith that the best is yet to come, and we're ready for it. What Sandra talked about is, what are you ready for? What are you preparing for? What are you creating? You preparing good? Are you doing good so that good may come back to you? Okay? Our willingness to live in the present is the same as our willingness to live in the presence. Okay? We're saying, whoa, here I am, Lord. We'll sing that next week, by the way. Here I am, Lord. And our willingness to be in the present will always take us in the right direction. Always. It will. Okay? It will guide us to the right decision. If we are guided by Christ consciousness, which is what this season is about, okay, we will make a difference not only to ourselves, but all the people who dwell on planet Earth. Do you like that? Do you like knowing that your own consciousness makes a difference on the planet? It does. Now, I know that sounds like a lot of responsibility, but it is a divine responsibility, and by the way, you picked it. You chose it when you came to this planet, to this time. You chose to be here. You chose to make a difference. The alternative to that is what I call intentional blindness. It isn't pretty. It's viable, but it isn't pretty. It's the driving through life, walking through life, jogging through life, not noticing what people need, not noticing what you can do, not noticing the people that need your love. Okay, that's intentional blindness. That's the little blinders. Remember the old days with the horses? With the blinders on, right? Because the horse wouldn't get scared by stuff that was happening off here next to them. And it was very effective. But let me tell you, on people, it's very sad. It's very sad when they wear blinders. But if we close our hearts, our minds, the path that we walk ceases to be an adventure, ceases to have any potential for fun, and becomes drudgery. How many of you have felt moments of drudgery? Oh yeah. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. Is that your attitude about it? Or is, I have the privilege of doing this. I don't know that I'll like it, but I have the privilege of being able to do it. Changes the whole thing. Changes the whole tenor of what you're doing. We choose to nurture within us an abiding happiness that exists independent of what other people do, what other people say, the things that go on around us. We say, yes, that is happening. We see that. But we will not surrender our peace. We will not surrender our joy. And no one can take it away from me. Got it? Happiness is a choice. We can greet each new sunrise the same way we greet each new year, with our hearts open and our minds open, willing to allow the flow of love to come through us, allowing to surge through us and out into the world. The open heart is the perfect, what I call, transceiver. Who knows what a transceiver is? It is a device that both transmits and receives. So some radios only transmit and some do both. The heart is a transceiver. It's a transceiver. It both gives, it sends and receives joy and optimism and faith and beauty and laughter and kindness and compassion. It sends it out. It receives it. Okay? The open mind is like broadcast central for positive information. If we remain open, Spirit is our teacher all the time. Spirit is our teacher. In the New Testament, Paul wrote, "Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind." What does that mean? Renew your mind every day. Open it up. Open it wide. Who does spring cleaning? Whether we like it or not, no. Okay, but you know that feeling in the old days, they used to drag the rugs out of the house, and they'd hang them on the line, and they'd get a carpet beater, and they'd beat the rugs, and they'd get all the dust out of the house.
Even the beds went out.
And even the beds went outside, yes. Those were the days.
Yeah.
Well, this is spring cleaning of the mind time, okay? Spring cleaning of the heart. Dust off the cobwebs. See, our path is not just words in a book. That's the lovely thing about this. Some paths are. Some paths are pretty much follow the words in a book, and that's fine for them, but not for us. We have an attitude and a mindset and a commitment to renewal, to openness, to learning, okay? We have a mindset that tells us it is our duty, not just a good idea, but our duty to believe in ourselves, our divinity, and the divinity of others, okay? By the way, this will be the last time you see a little believe. It's time for a new theme. We'll have a new theme for 2011. New, right? What did I say? New. We must do new things. Okay. So people say, well, it's awfully hard to love, is it? I didn't say like. I didn't say like what people do. I didn't say approve of what people do. I said love. Love is given to you freely by the divine. Why would you want to ration it? It's as if somebody gave you a whole bunch of money and then you said, but I'm only going to give you $1. That's what this is. The universe gives you an infinite supply of love and says, please, give it away. Give it away. Don't ask people to earn it, merit it, beg for it, deserve it. Just give it away. That's all there is. Let me tell you a little story about believing. It's our last believe story for this cycle of time.